Well, hello, my YouTube family. 2 down, people. 2 down, 3 more to go. You know, as usual, I am always grateful when the day is over. This morning started off with a little bit of, I can't really say drama, but just a little bit of a could have been something, but it turned out to be nothing kind of a thing. I'm telling you, that payroll department, I don't know. Ever since Miss Prissy has been taking her leave of absence, you know, that means it's one person short. But the work still has to get done and people still need to see the department. So today, the people that were waiting had it. Literally. There was this one woman who just would not shut up. And I was begging them to take her because it was like, you know, I was trying to be cordial and then talk to her, and I was in the middle of doing something, but then I had to stop completely because she was not going to let me continue doing what I was doing. So I had to just put it aside and just listen to her yap it up. And 1 hour is turning into 90 minutes. And at the 1 hour and almost going to 2 hours mark, there were like about 3 people. What's going on? I don't understand. I've never had to wait this long, blah, blah, blah. Why don't you go? I need to speak to your supervisor. I want to know what's going on. So I looked at all of them. I said, do you all want me to go to my supervisor and tell? Yeah, I mean, because why are we waiting so long? And I'd been calling. Every single time I call, because now that Miss Prissy isn't, you know, like that, chick that can't speak English properly, she seems to be the head of the department now. But she's so damn slow, or I don't know what the hell she's doing, or, you know, maybe she has to have people repeat things over and over because she doesn't understand English so well and she can't speak it so well. So every single time, every half hour I would call. There's so-and-so that needs to see. They're just going to have to wait. 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 Okay. At that last, they just going to have to wait. That's when a mutiny was about to start. So I said, oh, okay. Let me go and speak to my supervisor. So I had to go to my supervisor's office. And I said, people have been waiting in the waiting room for over an hour. Almost an hour and 90 minutes. Waiting for the pay. Well, that is just unheard of. I said, I've been calling every 15 minutes to the payroll department, and all I get is they're just going to have to wait. They're just going to have to wait. They're just going to have to wait. So while I'm standing in the office, my supervisor dials Miss Chick that can't speak English properly. And she was like, why am I hearing that people have been waiting in the reception area for over an hour to see somebody in payroll? And I hear her, I said, mm-hmm. Don't we sound like Porky Pig now? And those of you who are too young to understand the reference, I'm sorry. But those of you who are old heads like me, we remember how Porky Pig used to sound, right? That was her today. Well, I in the middle of doing something. They just gonna have to wait. And my supervisor said they've been waiting over an hour, almost going on 2. How long do you think that they should be waiting? Well, I have to do this, and she said, no, you don't. You have to see the people first. Then you get back to doing whatever it is you have to do. So she hung up, and no sooner did my super hang up, here she come whipping around the corner, and I'm just getting out of the supervisor. So I looked at her, and she looked at me, and I went back into my reception area. Hey, the people wanted me to speak. So I spoke for the people. It wasn't me. But you know who had the attitude, right? I just kept it moving. Because you know what? You could take that attitude and shove it up your ass. Eventually, you're going to have to come to me. You're going to want me to do something. And then you're going to be all nicey again. Bitch, take your attitude. You know what you could do with it, and just keep it pushing. So she finally walks out of the reception area. Okay, okay, who next? Who next? So the woman who had been talking my ear off, it was her that was supposed to be next, but she didn't like the way non-English speaking person came out the door with her attitude. She said, "Oh, you're gonna come out like that?" The woman who was waiting in the reception area. You can take somebody else and you can take your attitude and do something with. I was like, oh, this is going to turn out to be something. And I think it was something, because after she went to see whoever she went to see, she went to and I'm talking about the woman now. She went to my supervisor, and I guess she gave her what for about so-and-so's attitude, and why is there such an attitude, and why do we have to wait for her all the time, and this and that. All I know is I heard a raised voice from my supervisor tearing a new a-hole to, I can't speak English properly. So when it was time for her to go to lunch, she gave me a stare, and I looked at her like that. I looked her up and down, and she rolled her eyes at me. I was like, bitch, to myself. I didn't say that out loud. I said, you knew you were in the wrong. Keeping these people waiting. Every single time I'm trying to call you and tell you that these people are waiting, you keep giving me an attitude of, they just gonna have to wait. They just gonna have to wait. Okay. Okay. Now you tell my supervisor they gonna have to wait. Or our supervisor. You tell her they gonna have to wait. And let her tell you something. Lips of the day. I have a lip liner from Prestige. This is Prestige lip liner in the color Porto. That is Porto right there. Lined and filled is a lipstick that Pretty Silly Girls sent to me. Hey, Michelle. LA Colors shiny lipstick. I really wish it had a little bit more shine. You know me and my shine. I wish it was like shiny, glossy, shiny. But it's called LA Colors shiny lipstick. And this is in the shade, it's called Fanatic. And this is what Fanatic looks like. There it is. It's like a raspberry with an undercurrent of purple in there, like a blue toned purple. Very nice. There you have it. There it is. And there it is. Pretty. Me like it a lot. It's not quite red, but it's in that family. Okay, it's not quite. It's a little off. It's a little like raspberry-esque. And I like it a lot. Thank you very much, Michelle. One of the many that you got me. Thank you very much. This is it right here. I just wish it had a little bit more shine, but I can always put a clear gloss on top. It ain't that deep. Okay. So there you go, people. There it is. That was the day. Apparently, I'm in the midst of doing a project because there's a new chick. I still can't figure out what department she's in. All I know is she's working really closely with our supervisor. And I guess supervisor tells her what has to be done, and then also tells her, let Nancy do it. So this chick has to come to me. I need a little help with something. A little help with something means this is what you gonna do, okay? A little help with something never means a little help with something. It means this is what a supervisor wants you to do. Okay, well, whatever. It ain't that serious. Step one of the project was I had to take, how many were there? 150? 150 envelopes and stamp them with our address, with the company address. Okay, fine. He said, I'm going to leave these with you, and then I'm going to go to lunch. And then when I come back, I'll see if you're finished by then. How long does it take to just go like this? Stamp, stamp, stamp. I was done in like 20 minutes. So then, okay. Shh. Then my supervisor calls me while she's still out to lunch. Are you in the midst of stamping the envelopes? I said, no, I'm done with them. Actually, I've completed them. Oh, did you write the new girl? I'm just gonna call her new girl. The new girl's name at the bottom of each envelope? I said, no, she didn't tell me to do that. She just told me to stamp them. Oh, okay. Well, never mind. That's okay. I'll talk to you later. Like, supervisor has been real nice to me lately. Like, real nice to me. I'm just aware that she's very nice to me lately. So I said, okay. So when the new chick came back, she said, oh, I forgot to tell you that you have to write my name on the bottom of each envelope. So when it comes back to me, they'll just immediately go to me. Not a problem. That became so dull after a while. Just 151 envelopes. And I have to write another person's name on the bottom of each envelope. After a while, I don't know, maybe I wasn't going fast enough, or maybe she had nothing to do. The new girl said, here, let me help you. And she took a good handful. And she took it, I guess, back to her desk. And she finished those. And then I had the other half to do. So, which was fine. I'm thinking that was it. After I finished the last envelope, writing her name. Oh, no. Oh, no. Nance, here's part 2 of the project. She gave me a whole new, brand new box of blank envelopes that I have to handwrite the aide's name and addresses on. I don't know how many there are, people. There may have to be there 200, 300, 500 names that I have to handwrite. Now, I had just finished handwriting names and addresses like just last week, and I have to do it again this week. So I'm just going to take my time. I don't see a rush on it. There's nobody's telling me, can you be finished by? I'm just going to take my bloody time, do what I do. And although it may look mundane and kind of boring to other people, this is the most relaxing job. Let me take that back. It's not the relaxing job. No, I'm not going to take it back. The job itself is relaxing, even though I have like little itty bitty things to do. It would be the perfect job if I didn't have to deal with people. Like I didn't have to use the phone and I didn't have to see people. But that is part of being a receptionist, is you greet people. It would be a perfect job if I didn't have to greet anybody. Just give me the responsibilities to do. Let me do them at my own pace. You will get them done. You will get them done efficiently, even though you get it done efficiently, even though I get it done efficiently anyway. But if I had no other outside forces, just give me the responsibility to do and let me do it, that would be the perfect job. But this is about as close to, I don't even want to say that the job is perfect. It's a job. It's a job. And yes, unfortunately, there are other human beings that you have to relate to and with. It is what it is, people. So that's basically it in a nutshell. Last night, you want to talk about Boringsville on television? There was nothing to watch. I thought I was watching a new... Does anybody watch The Resident on Channel 5 on Monday nights? Oh, it's a really good show. And then right after The Resident is something, and I forgot. And they were 911, I think. 911. That's a good show too. Both of them repeat. So I had other Chicago PD episodes from my marathon of last weekend. So I finished. I didn't finish the marathon. I still have a few more episodes left still to watch. But today is Tuesday. And so I don't know what's on tonight. I don't know. The Flash. I don't know. Something's on tonight. Real Housewives of something. I think a Real Housewives of something. It may be a reunion. No, because the Atlanta reunions are on Tuesday nights. Could be Real Housewives of Beverly Hills or Real Housewives of New York. One of those two. So I'll tell you about it tomorrow if I remember. But other than that, people, that's it. That's all. Really not much else is going on. It's really, really rather calm. And excuse me, but where's the spring weather? We were supposed to have 60s and sunny and this, and that. Like today, this sweater that I'm wearing, I really thought when I was getting dressed this morning that I was going to actually be too hot because I thought it was going to be like 62 sunny, and it wound up being gray and misty, like that fine mist that is right before it rains or whatever. What happened? Like, what is going on with this weather? I have no idea. Anyway, I'm home now. That's all that matters to me. Let me tell you something. Have any of you, if you can remember your childhood home, if you've moved away, remember your childhood home that maybe you were born in and grew up to a certain age before you moved to another house or whatever? I Googled my childhood home. I remember the address and everything. It's funny how I can remember my childhood address, but the address where I lived with my then boyfriend, I don't even remember that one. I sort of kind of remember it. I think I do, but I'm not really sure. As a matter of fact, let me write that number down. I think I may even remember what it is. Let me write it down. And I don't remember anything else after that. Okay, so yeah, I remember my childhood address. And I looked up. It was a little apartment. And if you knew how much the rent is now for that little apartment, I was hoping to come home and show my dad on my phone, but he's sleeping. And I was almost going to wake him up. And I said, no, you don't have to wake him up for that. I was hoping he was awake, but he's very tired. So, and he's got to go to work tonight. So if I remember during the weekend, maybe, or maybe tomorrow, because Wednesday's his day off. If I remember tomorrow when I come home, I'll show him. I'm going to say, Pop, do you remember this place? I was born there, and I was born there until the age of 6, and then we moved to the house that we're in now from 7 on, and then I moved out, and I moved out again, and then I'm back. So, yeah. It brought me back. I remember the rooms, because it was on Zillow. I think Zillow had the rooms. And I was like, that's the bathroom. That's the bedroom. I still remember this. I'm like, that is definitely the apartment. It's just this, talk about a flashback. A lot of fun. A lot of fun. So if any of y'all remember your childhood house and you remember the address and the city and the state, you don't necessarily have to have the zip code, but just remember the address of the house, the city and the state. You should Google it to see if it's a house, if somebody still lives there. It's interesting. It's very, very interesting. You're not stalking. You're just looking. And that's it. Okay, so that's it, people. I know it's rather boring today. Really not much to talk about today. It is what it is, people. Sometimes there's a lot. Sometimes there's not much. I like when there's not much to talk about regarding me at work. When it's other people, and it is a good juicy story, you know I'm going to tell you. But nothing is going on. So that is just that with that upon that. All right, on that note, I love you. I love my YouTube family. Hit me up. Let me know what you think. I love this shade. It reminds me of Max Rebel. It sort of has that. I think even Rebel is a little bit darker, but it's in that same family. Very nice shade. And let me know what you think, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Okay? I love you. I love my YouTube family. And yeah, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye now.